Hi, I'm Rachel Chamness. Welcome to the Masterclass for the Sirian star system, where they're bringing in all kinds of information about new sound frequencies, the future of telepathy, and more. So thanks for joining us. This is part of my Tag VIP program, but this part is free for everybody, so I'm so glad you're here. The way this works is that we ask 13 questions and I trance channel the answer. So I will let them speak through me to give the answers. And we have several beings here. We have 3 Syrian beings named Menchka, Chessis, and Flay are the names that they have given me as their own, which could be a nickname or their names, who knows. It could be too complicated for us to say. So sometimes they give us nicknames. And then there is a large blue fairy named Okinaha, and she works a lot with frequencies and sound healing, she tells me. And then there's a dolphin, but he likes to be called Porpoise. He's a very large porpoise, and he is a changeling, meaning he changes between a humanoid and a dolphin, and his name is Malahai. So our first question is, where do you originate from, or how long has your planet been around, and is it still? Since we know they're from Sirius, but maybe they'll tell us a little bit more. So we're going to start with Chessis. I myself come from Sirius A. We are not all from the same exact planet. Our planets are still there, and we used to have a third. This is Rachel. We'll see if someone else says something about it. Let's bring in Flay. I am from Sirius B, and yes, it is still there. It is doing very well. We are happy to come here and help you bring your planet to such heights of cleanliness. You have much to clean up on your planet, as you all well know. And of course, it's not an individual's fault. And of course, most of you are also wanting to clean up the planet. And we will help you in time. Okay, this is Rachel. Yes, I've gotten that message many times. They will come help us clean up our planet when it's time in Ascension. I'm going to ask Malahai, the large changeling porpoise, to come in. I am from Sirius B, of course, the water planet. There is some land, and so we may change from land to water if we wish. Because our planets are higher than the 3rd dimension, it is a little different than the way you might be imagining it. For once you have reached the 5th dimensional reality, you may change your molecules and shapes as you wish. And so to go from water to land is as simple as going from sleep to awake. I've seen that as well, so that's really neat. Okay, see if Okinaha says anything. I am very happy to be here. I would like to say that there are many types of elementals in the star system of Sirius. And we are so happy to connect to you and help you if you wish with sound healing this month. For that is why we are here. We know many of you are very interested in sound healing, and we wish to help bring these new frequencies here so that you can really help enhance your experience for Ascension, and because you need these frequencies to open yourself up for Ascension, for there are many steps. I was kind of like, wait, we're not there yet. This is just the first question. Number 2, where do you exist now? Okay, Malahai, the porpoise, wants to talk. I exist on Sirius B, but I sometimes travel to other places. But for now, that is where I am. We send our consciousness to you. It is very simple and easy for us. We have no need to travel to send you this message. When he said travel, he showed me like a spaceship or something like that, so he has no need to do that. Several of these beings do just use telepathy, but they all feel different. I do notice that with Sirius, their beings seem to be able to bring themselves here through astral projection very easily, and it's really interesting because maybe it's because they're closer. I don't know. It's cool. So I've been reminded that I brought in the wrong fairy. I guess she really wanted to say something, Okinaha, but it's actually Okweena who wanted to come. So no wonder Okinaha gave us so much information on number 1. but maybe she'll have more to say. We'll keep her around. Okweena has a different energy, and that's why I was a little bit thinking, wow, she feels a lot different than when I first talked to her. So she would like to speak on where do you exist now? Yes, we exist on the frequency where fairies are present in many, many places. Not just one planet, but many, many, many planets. And Earth is one, for we have connection to Gaia. And so we can, in the blink of an eye, go back and forth between all of these places, because the land where the fairies are is almost like you can see it in your mind's eye, like a layer of light over the planet or over the space, and we can come and speak to those who can hear us and see those who can see us, and then we can go right back. So that is where we exist now, although we do consider ourselves to be from Sirius, for that is where we begin. Okay. Question 3. What was life like on your home planet? How is it similar or different to Earth? So I have Menchka here who wants to speak. This is one of the Syrian beings. Our planet is different than yours. Yes. We have 2 main planets. One is mostly water and has a great, I hesitate to say the word structures, for it's not like your structures, but there are structures under the sea, and there are some land mass and mountain range. On Sirius A, we have more of a city. It is populated. It has many levels, underground, ground, and higher up in the air. We are a quite advanced civilization, but it is not polluted, and it is not overtaken by structures that are unnatural. So this is what is hard to explain, maybe, but our buildings and structures are very natural, and we can construct them out of natural fibers so that a building could be as a mountain is, and we can construct buildings out of crystals, and everything works in harmony. We are advanced in some ways, the way that you have seen on your movies, where we move through the air and not the ground, airspace. But again, I believe you are unable to fully imagine how it looks because of our more natural materials and landscape. And we hope that you will be able to construct this, if you wish, on your planet in places where you have many people, that your cities can be cohabitating with Earth in a beautiful way, with your Mother Gaia, so that it is not polluting or hurting you or your planet. That would be great. We're into it, right? I am. Question number 4 is, did your home planet go through an ascension process? And if so, what was it like? So this is going to be Flay. Yes, we did go through ascension, same as you. It was some time ago. And it was also difficult, like yours, very much like yours. And there are difficult times and there are beautiful times. But once you get past the hump, as this one would say, it becomes much lighter and easier. And you are almost there. And so we have been tasked to send here to help you get through this ascension by adding what you are missing, which is many frequencies in your auric field, and also to begin to connect you to telepathy. This is part of the ascension process, but of course we are bringing it a little early to those light workers who are wanting to learn in your group, so that you may lead others and bring it into existence on your physical plane. Okay, that was good. Okay, number 5. Why have you come with this group? What do you have in common? Okinaha would like to speak. She's sort of wormed her way into this group, so our cute little fairy. Let's talk to her. They're actually big fairies, but she's smaller than Okweena, so. What we all have in common is that we are tasked to help you, to help the light worker who would like to be ahead of the curve so that you can lead others in your light. And so we have come here to bring our Syrian light, to to help you bring this light forward, to help you connect with frequencies and with sound and light in a way which you will in the future, but you need to start now if you can. And so we bring it now to you, and this will help you greatly. This will help reduce some ascension symptoms. Some of the worst ear ringing is one example. We cannot take it all away, for some of you are used to the feeling of knowing you are receiving downloads from the ringing in your ear, but we can lessen the more painful ascension symptoms with some of these upgrades that we are offering you this month in your group. So thank you so much for bringing us here. We are so glad to help you and so happy that you reach out for this extra help, where we are your friends. Well, that's good. I'm glad they don't mind me always looking for a new being each month to connect to for tags so that we can help ourselves get there faster. Okay, number 6, how do you help with Ascension? Malahai, the Porpoise, wants to speak. Ascension is a long process, and yet it has already started. It is difficult to explain to you how it works, for you are deep in it already, and yet there is much more to go. And that does not mean that all the bad things you are experiencing now will continue and continue. But as the good is coming in to temper the bad, we can help bring that light of ascension into you a little earlier, a little faster, to help you navigate into ascension. For if you're watching this, you are a leader. You are an ascension leader. You are a light worker. We'd like to help you help others. For that is why we are here. Okay, good. That's what this group is supposed to be about. So yay. Okay, our next question is number 7. How do we work with you? I'm going to bring Chessis in on this question. It is very simple the way that we will work with you, for we will bring you light codes and additions to your auric field and bring some things into your plane of existence in general, which will add to your frequency, for everything has a frequency, and everything that is matter is also frequency. And in the 3rd dimension, you have less of, you can imagine, sound waves. Look at it as sound waves. You have less of them than we do. In order to get from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension, you must add to your auric field. There are more layers, and there are more parts that need to be upgraded with light and with sound, with frequencies. You understand now? That is what we are doing. We will do it with sound through this medium here in the attunement, and we will lead you connecting through sound into a meditation, which will also help. And again, there is a sigil for manifestation to help connect you to this telepathic grid, which will work depending on how open your clairs are. You may find that your telepathy is increased in many ways through your 3rd eye, or you may begin to feel it actually working with other humans. And this is all part of Ascension as well. And so we wish to bring all of this to you as soon as possible so that it can spread through the planet, through your light, and help you get through the bad parts of Ascension faster. For what you're experiencing is one of the worst parts. There's much uncertainty. It looks very heavy and very bad. And you are also experiencing a lot of processing of trauma and shadow work. And so there are a lot of things here which can be difficult to work through. And we are really proud of how you do work through it and manage to find the light and to find the hope. And we are here to help with that. Well, that's nice, because it is difficult. And I'm definitely not going to be like, hey, love and light only. I mean, we can't do that. We have to work through our stuff. But it is important that we do find the light, find happiness if we can, or to work through what's making us not happy so that we can come back to happiness. And so that's really helpful. We'll take that. The next question is, what areas do you specialize in, together or separate? This is number 8. I'm going to bring Menchka back in. The 3 of us specialize in healing. And so we bring a healing light to you so that you can use it to light your world. The others bring frequencies for your auric field and other help for ascension. which is missing from your third dimensional field. And so together, we can put this together to help you reach the next stage of ascension, which will lighten your load when it comes to pain and shadow, and also fear. Though I know you try hard to stay out of fear, there is much fearfulness in your society. And so we help you step away from fear with these that we bring through for your help. I believe he means these frequencies. He sort of left a word out, and it took me a while to get it, with these frequencies, or these things that they're bringing through to help us. All right, our next question is number 9. When should we call on you? So this question is like, is there a certain time that we should call on you because you help with a certain thing? Like, are there certain areas where we can call on you because you're the best person to call on? So let's ask. We're going to get that fairy Okweena to come in for this one. When you feel that there is something missing, something that you aren't quite understanding or feeling, and you're feeling a sense of incompletion regarding ascension, we are the ones to call on. You may also call on us if you need healing, for we hold the light. We can send it to you for healing. So you may call us for healing as well. Okay, and she's saying that's for all of them. So we'll go to the next question. Number 10, what is your main advice you would like to give concerning ascension or current earthly energies? Malahai, the porpoise. Stay the course. It is difficult times, but you are strong and you have much at your fingertips to help you. Many energies, many ways to call forth help from many beings, from angelic to elemental to galactic to all kinds of spirit guides. You have much help here, and you have each other. And so we ask you to stay the course. You are almost there. Don't be frustrated because this part of ascension is so difficult. That's true. We can do it. Okay, so number 11, what else would you like us to know? Let's bring in Chessis wants to come back in. We would like to remind you that you are here for a reason, that the spark inside you, which is your soul, is divine. You are divine. And so your purpose here is divine. And what you need to accomplish here, though it may seem small to you, it is part of the divine plan. And so when you feel low, remember this. Feel proud of yourself for doing so well in a difficult situation, and bring yourself through. And we will be waiting there for you. Well, that's a nice message. Number 12. What frequency dimension are you from, and do you have an ego? Okay, I'm getting Flay. We do have egos. Yes, we do. However, we are disconnected from them. We are in the 5th and 6th dimension. And just as you know how to disconnect from your ego, we also know how. So it is there, but we are disconnected much more than you are. So more of us are disconnected as a whole. It's very seldom that anyone falls back into ego, though it does happen. The 5th and 6th dimension is not perfect, but it is overall smoother, more joyful, and very beautiful and very interesting, as there is much more to learn about the world, which has been greatly kept from you in the 3rd dimension. And once you rise up to the 5th dimension, there is a lot of knowledge to be gained, which I know you will all very much appreciate. This is Rachel. He's kind of showing me that it's easier to see all the truths in this world. You know, sometimes we think, oh, well, when I die and I go to the other side, I'll learn all the things I've ever wanted to know, all the questions I have about this life and what's out there and everything like that, if you're a spiritual seeker like I am. But he's saying when you get to the 5th dimension, you have all those answers at your disposal, for everything opens up. The 3rd dimension is more tempered. It's not just our planet or things being kept from us from people on our planet who know things. It's not just that, even though that is also true. He's showing me that it's also that you're not meant to know all those things in the 3rd dimension, because the 3rd dimension is a test. And I've said this many times, it's a test. We come here in these bodies to go through all these traumas and all these things in our lives, to learn things, to strengthen character, to really learn hard lessons. And that's why we've come here. And it is all a purpose. So I really like what he said. Now, number 13, last question. What form do you take or look like? And have any of you ever incarnated in human form on Earth? We'll have Malahai start with this, the porpoise. My being is more like a large dolphin or slightly towards what you call a shark, but I am able to transform into what you might call a giant. I see in this medium's mind pictures of elemental giants, and that is closer to what I might look like in the form of humanoid on land. But we also have the ability to change our form in any way that we'd like. However, we have our traditions and we have the ways that we identify with still, and so we normally stick to the same forms that we appreciate. My skin is gray, a grayish color, and also we come in other colors, blue and white, and other colors that you might associate with dolphins, sharks, and whales. But we do prefer porpoise. Okay. Oh, he says no, he hasn't. He's just telling me. He has not incarnated in human form on Earth. Okay, let's ask Okweena, the fairy. I am a blue fairy, and I am not a small creature. I am much larger, as you would say is a small human. I am closer to that size. I do not have hair, but I have markings on my head where hair would be. I do have wings. Mine are clear, and I have many of them. I am showing a picture to Rachel, and she can explain. Okay, yes, she couldn't find a word for it. So what I see is these like thick, clear wings, and they're shaped very interestingly, like an insect wing like this, but many, many, many of them. So, and they don't overlap. So it's almost like the wing itself goes like, now it's fading. I can't see it that well, but it's like many, many, many wings, and they're very thick. And then on her head, where hair would be, it looked markings almost like a jaguar or cheetah, which is really cool. And she's never been a human on Earth, she says. Okay, so let's ask Menchka, Chessis, and Flay. The way I see them is they also have blue skin. So this blue skin is strong with Syrians, but I have to tell you that there's so many different kinds. These are just the ones I'm talking to. So let's bring in Menchka. I definitely see him with blue skin. Okay, I think it might be easier for me to talk. This is Rachel. I'm seeing him. He's showing me he's blue skin, and he has no hair, and he's a very large humanoid. Okay, I'll ask Chessis to show me himself. Menchka has come to Earth before. Let's ask him about that. Yes, I have incarnated on Earth. I have. I was there in your time of the 19th century, and I came for a short while, one lifetime of 56 years, but it was only once I came to help, and it was not to take on karma, so I did not continue on Earth. I kind of see him working with an inventor to help bring something to Earth. He says that's right. Okay, that's cool. Okay, Chessis. Chessis has a softer energy. These beings from Syrian are a little more androgynous. I think they only have like a slight inclination to one side or the other, male or female. They're mainly androgynous, and it's not insulting to say one is more female or one is more male than the other. Menchka gives me a more masculine vibe, and Chessis gives me a more feminine vibe, but I do feel they're more androgynous, and it's more of a feeling, not an orientation. So Chessis is a little bit smaller. She has like a thinner head and smaller body, more lithe, and her blue is a different color blue, though I can't explain it. It's very pretty. And she has big brown eyes. I can see that much of her. She does not have hair. She's showing me some geometric light patterns that kind of right here, maybe sort of like a halo or something, but it's not behind, it's in the front, or some sort of telepathic something. I'm not sure, but that's what she's showing me. Let me have her say. What you see are the light codes which surround my third eye, or my equivalent of what you would call a third eye, to connect to the telepathic grid. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, so Flay is very similar to Chessis, but has a little bit of a masculine vibe. And the only one of all of these who has ever incarnated here is Menchka. So they would just like me to end here with a little bit of a sound healing for everyone for watching, especially if you're not in tag, so you won't see the rest of the month, which is the attunement, the sigil manifestation, and the meditation. So I'm going to bring, it's going to be Menchka, it's going to come through and give you a little sound healing. I saw him holding up a big crystal globe, and I was wondering, it looked very much like a golden healer crystal, and he was singing through it, so that's pretty cool. So I hope that you enjoyed this masterclass. If you'd like to learn more about tag, you can go to soundwavesheal.com/tag and read all about what's in there. We have more than 300 videos and more every week, and it's a great place to learn, to connect, and to heal, and also to manifest. So thank you so much. I'm Rachel Chamness at soundwavesheal.com, and thanks for coming.